What is happening, everybody? Thanks a lot for joining us for another episode of James Pickin' Brains. As you know, people ask me all the time, James, can I pick your brain? This is that opportunity for me to turn the tables, and now I'm the one out there picking the brains. Today, Amy Volas is with us. Amy, introduce yourself. What do you do, and who are you with?
Hello, James. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to have my brain picked, I guess. I'm the founder and CEO of a company called Avenue Talent Partners. We are an executive search firm helping various stage of startups get their sales hiring right the first time around and hang on to these prized gems through our methodology. So it's all about helping them build out experienced enterprise sales teams and executive sales leaders. So that's me.
Nice. I like it. All right. So this is the format of the show. I'm going to ask you 6 questions. They're really quick. I need quick answers. The total runtime is only about 10 minutes. So here it is. First question. Routine is super important for sales professionals. What does your average day look like?
What's an average day? There is no such thing. Are you kidding? I wish I could tell you that there's an average day. This is my company and I am involved in many different parts of it. So there's the sales side of me, there's the delivery side of me, there's the recruiting side of me, there's the networking side of me, there's the marketing side of me. And I have chunks of time blocked out for the things that I need to do. So Calendly is a friend of mine where I have my time and you can block it and you can schedule it and you can modify it to give yourself wiggle room or not. I personally do give myself some wiggle room.
Yeah.
Nobody can get on my calendar on a Friday because that's my day to catch up on all the admin stuff that I do. So honestly, every day, I wish I could tell people about routine. Every day looks different. But the number one thing that happens in every day, I'm a huge believer because sales is my first business love and I've been in it for 20 plus years. I'm a huge believer that your pipeline trumps all. And it's about the right work with the right people and consistency. So I don't care if my ceiling's falling down and water's pouring out of it, like it was yesterday when we were supposed to talk. I will always be doing something to make sure that that pipeline is fierce, that I'm delivering for my clients, that we're closely connected, because without that, nothing else matters.
That's true. And the pipeline is so important. All right, next question. Here we go. Salespeople historically struggle with work-life balance. In a few words, tell me, what do you think about work-life balance? Is it a thing or is it just a figment of our imagination?
I think it's the next iteration of work-life integration, right? So I have been one of those people that I don't know what that word is and I struggle with it. Like I would be lying if I said, yes, I live this perfect life and I have an off switch and an on switch and from this time to this time, I do this, I do that. That's not my reality. My career is very much part of me, and it's always been, and I don't know what an off switch looks like, and I'm actually consciously working on that because I don't want to kill myself in the process.
Yeah.
So for me, it's more like, how do I integrate the important things of my life into my day-to-day? And maybe that's, I want to do Pilates, which I've started doing. And they have an app where I schedule it and I look at my calendar and it gets scheduled in and then I might work till 10 o'clock that night. So it's more about making sure the things that are priorities and important to me happen, regardless of knowing that I have an endless supply of work that I could do.
Yeah, and sometimes it just seems to go on forever, and I totally understand. I think I struggle to disconnect as well. Sometimes we just feel drawn to the work because it's something that's on our mind, and to satisfy that, we have to cross that thing off our checklist mentally. And that's a tough thing, I think, for some people to do that are heavily involved in their business. And I think you said it best, right? Work-life integration sounds so much better than work-life balance, right? Balancing is not always easy, but integrating things can make things better. So I really like the way you phrased that. All right, next question. A great start to the day builds momentum. What have you accomplished before 9 a.m. every day?
I don't wake up till 11. What are you talking about?
The life of a CEO, people. Founders, there it is. Now you know.
I know, right? No, I wish I could tell you that I wake up at 4:30 in the morning and by the time I'm at 9 o'clock, I've worked out for 3 hours and I've saved a cat out of a tree, and like all these things. And here's the thing. I set intention. So before 9 a.m., I am thinking about all the things that I need to do. So I'm a big believer of before the day is over, I know what I did that day and what I want to do the next day, but then things happen, right? And I am one of those people that as soon as I wake up, this thing is in my hand, which is my phone. And quite frankly, it's like lots of things can creep up. And it then is, how do I reprioritize my day? Do I need to reprioritize my day? And taking time to think about that before I even get into anything else, and making sure that I do the things that I absolutely need to do that day for what's crept up, while keeping account of everything else that's gone on. Before 9 a.m., I'm also reading something. I've committed to myself that I don't care what's happening in my life. And sometimes it's in the morning, sometimes it's in the evening, sometimes it's both. I'm reading at least a chapter of whatever book that I'm reading.
I like that.
And in addition to that, I get into LinkedIn because I'm a really big LinkedIn person. I kind of live up there. People think I don't do anything besides live on LinkedIn. It is a full-time job, as well as me running this business. I start my LinkedIn engagement and interaction well before 9 a.m. And there's a lot that I do then, so that I can then focus on the rest of my day and sprinkle into LinkedIn versus having to be front and center all the time. So those are some of the things before 9 a.m. Oh, and a big giant cup of tea.
Can't live without the cup of something in the morning, right? It's water, it's coffee, it's tea. I've heard lots of things. Some people it's juice, right? Like everybody's got that cup of something that they rock.
Not the Tito's yet, because that's a different kind of day, but you know.
that's a cup of something. All right. Next question, right? Every leader has a style. How would you describe your style?
My style is, I'm very much an open book. I don't play games with people. I don't like the cat and mouse. I know exactly what I need and why I need it. And I'm very clear in that, while being super empathetic to the other person. This isn't like the Amy show of it's my way or the highway.
Yeah.
I die and live for open two-way collaboration. And I celebrate having a voice myself. And I know that feels like to not have that. Yep. And anybody that's working with me, I want it to be that way. And so I think it's kind of like that golden rule thing. And that's really the foot that I lead with is, what is really happening here. And it's not just my agenda.
Sure. I like that. Not just my agenda. That's a great way to say it. I always try to consider other people's needs at the same time as my own, right? And sometimes I think that can be really hard, especially from a sales perspective, because we all tend to push really hard to get what we want, and we're very focused on that. And sometimes we forget that our prospects and our customers need to be getting something from us at the same time. So I like how you put that for sure. All right. We all climb the ladder in a different way, right? How'd you get this job?
So the ladder hasn't always been vertical, right? I've gone in a lot of different directions. So I got this way through a lot of trial and error, and through understanding a lot about myself, of what I care about and what I don't care about, and what I want to be doing and why I want to be doing that. So to this point, it comes from a 20+ year enterprise sales career, in sales leadership as well.
Yeah.
And attention to when I was doing really well and I was super psyched, what did that look like? And the stuff that I hated, what did that look like? And the mistakes that I made. So like for me, and anybody that might be thinking about this, I believe that the rearview mirror shapes today and where we go from here. And so all of those bits and pieces, I knew that I was destined to work for myself. And I tried my first business in 2008, and that blew up like a freaking ticking time bomb. I didn't know at the time that the economy would fall apart when I started the business in 2008. So it's like, that would have been really easy for me to like, and I did, by the way, but I knew I wanted to do this again, and I knew I needed to recover, and there was no way that I could do this without doing that and figuring it out. So like in my mind, it's like every step leads to the next step. So like every action has a reaction. You just have to pay attention to that to make sure that the reaction is what you want it to be.
Yeah, I like that. Action and reaction, definitely a part of how we climb that ladder and what happens on the way to discovering what we truly want out of our career, our profession, our lives, really. I mean, you spend so much time doing it, you might as well enjoy it. All right, final question. Here we go. Everybody has influencers, people that helped get them where they are, people that they looked to and said, that's great, I'm going to mimic that. Who were the people that you looked up to as you climbed up and decided that you would be an entrepreneur?
So I come from, I think first and foremost, I come from a long lineage of salesmen. My dad, my grandfather, and I wish he was still here to this day because I would love to talk shop with him. He was a dude that was a Depression baby and had an 8th grade education and was a World War II fighter pilot and was a titan of his industry and ran companies, like big, major, mega companies. And I wanted to be like him when I grew up because he didn't do dirty business. He wasn't a dirtbag, and I idolized that. So I think it starts with this lineage of people in my family that really were inspiring to me, and I was fascinated about like what they were doing. I never thought I wanted to be in sales. I thought it was icky, but I didn't look at them as salespeople. And now in hindsight, they were, right, for a lot of different reasons. So it starts there, and then I've had really good mentors. So there was a person early on in my career that took a chance on me. His name was Darren Robertson. He was first and foremost my boss, and then was a mentor after we stopped working together. And he actually was my business partner when I started that company in 2008. So, I mean, he certainly has had an indelible impression on me. A person named Aline Eastwick Field from Indeed was another phenomenal mentor. So there are people that have taken me along the way, but I still have them to this day. I'm a really big believer that you are the sum of your parts, and who you choose to surround yourself with is huge. So Taryn Lanigan, who is by my side in this business every day, I couldn't do it without her. She inspires me, she challenges me, and I learn a ton from her. To my husband, it's a lot of different people. To people like Wilson Welsh that I think the world of, and I'm fortunate enough to know personally and professionally. If I ever have a question, he's always there with sage words of wisdom that challenges the way that I think, and that's awesome. I want more of that.
I love it. That's a great list, and I like how you threw your husband in there. Shout out to all the husbands out there that are inspiring their wives. Unsung heroes. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. We really appreciate it. Do you have anything to say before we let you go? And make sure you tell people how they can contact you and what you do for them.
Just a really big thank you on Valentine's Day for having me. I appreciate it. To get in touch with me, I like to live out loud. I am all over LinkedIn all the time. I think I'm the only Amy Volas on LinkedIn. So if you hit me up there, all my contact information is there. It's the easiest way.
That's great. I love it.
AvenueTalentPartners.com.
Say it one more time. Say it one more time.
AvenueTalentPartners.com.
I love it. All right. Well, thanks for coming on the show, Amy. If you're out there and you want to be on the show and you want to get your brain picked, you want to tell your story, how did you climb that ladder? What kind of routines do you have that make you successful? Reach out to me, and you know how we roll. #SayWhatSales. If you're a salesperson, we're the same person.